We're in Seoul, South Korea with Kia driving the all-new EV4.
Long before it arrives on our shores. We're in Korea. Hit it, Andrea. Whoa.
Oh, yeah.
All right.
Always with electric vehicles, you've got that instant acceleration, and this one is no exception.
So we're going to get into all of the details of the EV4. When is it coming? We're expecting it, all that kind of stuff. We were here last September driving the EV3, so we'll give you a little update on that as well. Right now we're going to tell you what's under the floor of this new EV.
Okay, so it's got 201 horsepower and 209 pound-feet of torque. There are two battery options, a 58.3 kilowatt hour battery and an 81.4 kilowatt hour long range battery with up to 531 kilometers, 330 miles of range for the long range model. Now for the standard battery, you're going to get 378 kilometers, 235 miles.
So acceleration number 0 to 100 kilometers an hour is 7.4 seconds. With the larger battery, it's 7.7 seconds. So when is this EV coming? Well, targets are kind of moving. So what's coming first is the front wheel drive model. That's what we're driving here today. And it was supposed to come the end of 2025. They pushed that to 2026, the beginning of 2026 front wheel drive models. All wheel drive models will follow after that.
And it looks like it's going to be the same with the EV3, kind of moving targets for that one as well. Beginning of 2026. We drove that last year in South Korea. Both the EV3 and EV4 are based on the 400 volt architecture, and Kia says they went with 400 volt versus 800 volt because the EV3 and EV4 are supposed to be more affordable options.
And you know what? The EV3 has been a home run in Europe. It is in the first quarter of 2025 the best-selling EV in many European markets. In the UK, it's the #1 seller. Right time for this, especially in that market with all the Chinese imports coming. They have a cost-effective, small, good-looking EV that people can get their head around, and this is the sedan version.
And I think that's one great thing about the EV3 is that it feels like you're getting more for your money. The interiors, just like this EV4, feel more upscale.
Last time we were here, it was rainy, it was humid, it was hot. Now it's perfect. It's right around 70 degrees Fahrenheit, 20 degrees Celsius, absolutely perfect. And we're enjoying it, no rain. It's great to be back in South Korea.
And we followed the EV4 along in its different stages. We first saw it at CES. It was a concept back then, same with the EV3. And then we were recently at Kia's EV Day and they rolled out that EV4 and now we're here driving it. So we were really looking forward to getting in this model and giving you our driving impressions. Now, some of you might be thinking, how about that hatchback? How about it, Zach?
Well, the hatchback is available in other markets. So this vehicle, the one we're driving, is made here in South Korea. So sedan versions are going to be made in Korea for the domestic market here and for North America, Canada, US. The European one was designed more for European taste. So they developed a hatchback. They're making that one in Europe. We asked, will we get the hatchback in North America? As I said, is that a hard no? And they said, that's a hard no. We're not getting it.
I know, yet the Kia EV4 is going to have a hatchback in North America. So I do hope they change their mind. It would be nice to have both in North America for the EV4.
But you know what? They'll sell you eventually the EV3, which is a hatchback, and the design of that is just killer. By the way, I know we're here to talk about EV4, but we got to do a little recap. So we mentioned the EV3 is coming. EV3 won World Car of the Year, and it's selling all of those numbers in Europe. So the timing, as I said, for this is absolutely perfect.
And I gotta say, Kia is just killing it with electrification. Their portfolio is huge, from electric vehicles to hybrids to plug-in hybrids, gas models, you name it, you've got it.
Well, we're in Seoul, a lot of really busy roads and highways, and we don't often do our talking on camera on the highway because we're always fighting with noise. But today, because this is so quiet, we're like, what the hell? Why don't we do it on the highway? It's so quiet.
Yeah, Kia has really insulated this cabin really well. Whether you're on the highway or you're in the city, you are going to say this is refined.
But you know what a lot of people will say, but Andrea, you know, all EVs are quiet because there's no internal combustion engine. But you know what? That's not quite true.
No.
Because there's no sound from the engine or the exhaust masking wind and road noise. It's actually much more noticeable in an EV. So they've done a great job of tamping down all of those input noises from the vehicle. So you drive this. And the other thing I want to say, Andrea, man, these seats are comfortable. We've been driving now before we turned the camera on for over an hour, and we both thoroughly enjoyed the cabin.
Yes, the seats are impressive. I mean, you don't always get into a vehicle where you say, wow, I really like the seats in this. This is comfortable for long road trips. And I also like this kind of netting for your head. It's
Your
really
hair doesn't
comfortable.
get caught in it?
Well, no,
No, it
it seems pretty good.
My toupee hasn't come off yet, so
That's always a
I'm
good
glad
thing,
about
isn't
that.
it? But I mean, you just sit back and it's quite relaxing.
I got a question for you, Andrea. Riddle me this. I think that this front-wheel drive model is fine. I'm really quite happy with it. Now, it's a nice, beautiful day here today. You don't have to worry about snow and ice.
No.
Would you wait for the all-wheel drive, or would you just get this?
I think the thing about electric vehicles with the heavy battery, the vehicles feel really planted. It doesn't matter what electric vehicle you get into. If you put a good set of winter tires on your vehicle and it's front-wheel drive, you should really be just fine. I mean, back in the day, there was snow and we drove front-wheel drive and rear-wheel drive gas models.
Well, front-wheel drive was the future.
I know.
When front-wheel drive cars came out, that's what you wanted for better driving in the winter. The other thing is you're obviously going to get more range if you're just driving one motor at the front versus two. So that's a positive if you're someone that does a lot of mileage.
This has got iPedal 3.0, so you can control your regen braking. It's got one pedal drive, so it brings the vehicle to a complete stop. There's also available highway driving assist that automatically adjusts the vehicle's set speed to match the posted speed limit under certain conditions. Also available, remote smart parking assist too.
So this is a nice size vehicle. It would fall into the compact class. It's roughly the same size as the Tesla Model 3. The wheelbase is just a little bit shorter than the Model 3, but this is actually bigger overall. It's slightly longer. So keep that in mind in terms of size. So this will appeal to a lot of people. I think it looks a lot like the K4 sedan, the gas model that they introduced last year with this sort of edgy design.
Definitely edgy, and while some people may love the design and some may not like the design, it's too much for them. You have to give Kia credit that they are creating out-of-the-box designs on their vehicles.
It's better looking than the Ioniq 6. Remember the Ioniq 6?
Yes.
The sedan from Hyundai?
Yes.
That they still sell it, but I think this is better looking than that.
I agree with you. I like the sporty look. It's modern. It has a bit of a fun vibe to it. Reminds me also of the EV6. This has the fastback roof line. I've always been a big fan of that style. We used to own an Audi A7. And I like it a lot.
Yeah, but it's not a hatch, it's a trunk.
Yeah, it's a trunk.
Yeah, but you know what? Back to the real hatchback they're going to be selling in the European market.
Yeah.
I think that would sell. People are so stuck on the old North Americans don't like hatchbacks, they like sedans. I think if you brought that, I think it's better looking. I think it looks better than this one.
Yeah.
And I wish we got it. But
Well, we don't,
But you can
Zach.
get the EV3, so there you go.
Also, there's the EV5 for the Canadian market.
Yeah,
So
that's
you've
coming.
got a lot of options.
One thing I have to say, Andrew, I'm looking at our monitor down there.
Yeah.
Tinted windows in the front, man, we look good. I wish we had this lighting all the time for our videos. We won't be getting this. I asked and they said, you know, this is a thing for the Korean market, but North America front windows will not come tinted.
Just in case you want to put the EV4 in your garage, I'm going to give you the dimensions. It's 186 inches long, 58 inches high, and 73 inches wide. Now, the wheelbase is 111 inches long. So comparing that to the gas K4 model, it's about an inch longer and 2 inches higher, but they do share the same width. The EV4's wheelbase is also 4 inches longer than the K4. The ground clearance of the EV4 is 5.5 inches, and this comes standard with the vertical headlamps, Kia's signature star map lighting, and standard 17-inch wheels, available 19-inch. The GT line that we're driving offers exclusive design elements.
Well, Andrea, we are in Korea, but the shtick remains the same. What do we got to put it in?
You got to put it in S for subscribe, and if you can hit that notification bell, you'll be notified when all of our reviews drop, and then you can watch them.
And we do this, the couple car review, twice a week. The first one drops on Wednesday.
We put another one out on Saturday.
So make sure to like and subscribe. That's the #1 thing you can do to help us. And by the way, more people who watch these don't subscribe than subscribe. And when we went through customs at the airport, they said, put it in this for subscribe. They didn't say that.
They did not say that.
But welcome to Korea anyway.
One thing I noticed about the interior is that it's just so open and spacious. If you are a tall person, there is so much legroom in the front. And the second row has class-leading second row legroom.
Yeah, as I mentioned, it is roughly the same size as the Model 3. So they sell a lot of those, Andrea. Yeah. I got to tell you, this, you might not love the outside. I can, you know, some people might think the edgy look isn't for them. I get it. But once you sit in it, and this is what you look at every day, you're like, wow. This is what I've been saying for years, Andrea. The disruptors in the auto industry over the last 10 years have been Tesla for electrification. Now brands like Kia are catching up. And then the Korean brands, especially for interiors, man, they push forward with really well thought out materials and execution. There isn't one shiny hard plastic surface in here.
No, and when we spoke to the designers about this, where's the shiny hard plastic, Kia? Well, they said, look, it's kind of had its time. We're moving away from it. And you see that in their models now. I like this floating center console. You've got a tray that you can move forward if you like. And then there's just so much storage under here. It's just an abundance. This is a vehicle, let's say you're a family that's growing and you really like sedans, you just don't want an SUV, you're gonna find that you can grow with this vehicle.
Well, I just look at all the materials in here. So you've got brushed or matte looking aluminum. All the switches for the heated seats, the heated steering wheels are all there on the door. Above that is soft materials on the doors. There's a few areas like this tray Andrea mentioned a moment ago is hard plastic, but it's got enough contrast to it and really nice colors, and it's broken up. It feels high-end.
It really does. It feels upscale. Kia is using sustainable and recyclable materials throughout the cabin. And this comes standard with its almost a 30-inch diagonal display screen. It's made up of 3 screens. So you've got a 12.3-inch touchscreen with standard wireless Apple CarPlay and Android Auto. You have a climate control screen, which is 5 inches, and then a 12.3-inch digital driver display. It's all really well thought out, and I like the different color combos that are offered in this model, not just black.
Okay, the thing is that little screen that you do your HVAC controls in, you don't have to though. That's the great thing about the design. And I think that, and we said it recently with a Korean review we did, that they found kind of the nice balance of, there's loads of stuff in the screen. The mode for your HVAC controls, and they're not real switches, but they're capacitive touch switches. You don't have to go into the screen. They've got this really nice balance of stuff you use all the time without having to go into the screen.
This has a column shifter, which we're seeing in all Kia EVs. Some may like it, some may not. One thing I have to say that I do like about this is that it sits a little bit lower and it's not near the windshield wipers. So it's not something that you would confuse.
Yeah, these headrest things are neat. These are out of the EV9. Yeah, they have that in the EV9.
So overall, you're going to find that the seats are comfortable. As we mentioned earlier, there's enough thigh support. On this side, you do have a power passenger seat with a height adjustment. You have a power driver's seat, heated steering wheel, ventilated and heated front seats. So we're going over the features that are in our test model because the specs for all the trims, and there's 3 in total, have not been released yet. So we can't really drill down on that base model quite yet.
Yeah, so we have the top spec. These are all the things you could get, but it's nice to know this is what you could get if you wanted to splash out for a top trim.
Now, what we do know is that this does come with a standard 6-speaker audio system, available 8-speaker Harman Kardon system that we have on our test model, and it does have other available features which we'll go through. A 12-inch head-up display, digital key 2.0, over-the-air software updates, online navigation, and Kia AI Assistant. So there is one feature that we're not getting in the North American market that I was kind of hoping for: rest mode and theater mode.
Yeah, so when you're charging and you're waiting, you can recline your seat and it dims the lighting, and it'll even set an alarm if you want to have a nap. And the theater mode, you can play videos on the center screen and watch a movie. So there you go. So we're not getting those features, but they might be added in the future. They told us it was because of regulatory issues, but there you go. I think overall, what really impresses me the most about this, first of all, is the smooth and quietness of it.
Yeah.
And it's very composed, and it feels very polished and like it fully baked. It seems fully baked and beautiful on the inside.
Yeah, and also the space. I mean, the space is a big one. This is a good size sedan.
Well, speaking of space, here's me getting in the back seat. Now, typical with EVs is you have a long wheelbase to make room for the battery. That benefits quite a bit of leg room and good headroom. The seats are at a nice pitch and are comfortable. How does it stack up?
The EV4 has 45.4 inches of front row legroom. Second row legroom, 38.1 inches.
No, we don't get the hatchback in North America. This one has a trunk, but it's got a large and useful space.
Cargo space is coming in at 17.3 cubic feet.
Okay, we're going to get into our vital stats. We don't have pricing for this. As we mentioned, it's being pushed until the beginning of 2026. When we get closer to the on-sale date and it's officially announced for North America, that's when we'll get all the pricing. So why don't we get into now the charging?
With a DC fast charger, the EV4 will go from 10 to 80% in just 29 or 30 minutes, depending on the battery size. With a level 2 charger, 10 to 80% in about 5.5 hours or just over 7 hours. The EV4 is built on the 400-volt architecture and will be equipped with the North American Charging System port. There is available vehicle-to-load and vehicle-to-grid functionality.
The warranty in Canada is 5 years, 100,000 kilometers. In the United States, 10 years. 10 years? 10 years and 100,000 miles. I just want to let you know, I'm driving at highway speeds now. Highway speeds. And we never recorded highway speeds.
Never.
Because there's too much going on with the microphones. But this car, it's all good.
Well, Zach and I were saying when we were doing mostly highway driving, we were like, oh my gosh, where are we going to do our in-car segment? And then we kind of looked at each other and thought, geez, this is quiet.
Okay, we're even going over little speed bump things and you can barely hear them.
I also want to add that this comes with a moonroof and it opens.
It does open. All right, Andrea, two things we'd like to see improved.
I like how refined the EV4 is.
I love the interior.
What I'd like to know is the price. Is this going to be an affordable option really for the North American market? I hope so.
You know I'm going to say it. It's the floppy door handles. I don't love them, but that's what they've gone with.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of that? This is a really long lead for us to get a chance to drive this all the way in Korea of the Kia EV4. What do you think?
Thanks for watching, and if you like what you see, subscribe. We'll see you next time.